Can you beat Kingdom Rush Origins with only High Elven Mage? A question so foolish that even I have been reluctant to answer it for a while. Surely this infamously difficult campaign can't be beaten with not only one of the lowest ranking towers in the game, but also in the series. But my stance on the matter has been shaken ever since DJ dropped his jaw-dropping Origins tower ranking, claiming this tower to stand on the shoulders of giants. Every seasoned rusher on the block was quick to dismiss DJ as an out-of-the-loop JoJo. Not me though, long known to be an open-minded and optimistic individual. I was going to put this tower to the test. So without further ado, let's discuss the rules. I can only build mage towers and upgrade to High Elven this run, and we will be playing the game the way it was intended to be played, by starting on a fresh save. And yet I won't be playing the intended way, because I'm going into the game files and upping the difficulty to impossible. And the last and final rule, all stages will be completed, no lives lost. So ready to fuck up lads, this ain't going to be sunshine and rainbows. The High Elven is far out of our reach and only being unlocked at the halfway point, which means I'm going to be stuck with these god awful basic level mages for 8 stages. Our saving grace this run will be lightning bolts and cathartical physics, then investing in sentinels to pick off the stragglers. Will Mactan spawn Bukaki my blue mage juice back to the Gnoll age? Am I even strong enough to resist malicious dirty talk? Or hell, what am I even going to do against all the web spitters found in this part of the campaign? We are about to find out. If you thought that this challenge was going to be smooth sailing in the beginning of the game, you would be very reasonable to assume so. But no, this sucked dick right out of the gate. Believe it or not, but I was actually stuck on level 1 for a good 20 minutes. Spacing out your towers to prevent overkill was needed to survive, until I could get my hands on the reinforcements. And with these, I would attempt to form a choke point to varying degrees of success, and hold out until Legolas would arrive to save my ass. With stage number uno down, my morale was already low, but thankfully I was granted a gift from the elves in this next level, which is allowed to be used per the rules of this run. That's right, with my foresight of things that have not yet come to pass, I will need all the help I can get to get through this mission. And with this level 1 barrack, stage 2 turned out easier than the first level. The introduction of the Nolnar made things a bit hairy, pun intended, but this tower was designed to counter this specific enemy at the end of the day. So nothing too bad. Let me go on record to say that level 2 was and will remain the only easy stage in this video, because in this next stage I was going to face the cowardly dogs, which have a high intolerance of my all-female tower loadout. Such misogyny is not going to suppress me, and with Eridan strategically placed, I was going to pick them off one by one. However, I ran into a slight issue. Iridan couldn't perform under pressure. I thought I could fix this by speccing into the reinforcements ranged attack, but even then Iridan whiffed one too many times. The masculine urge to put all of the eggs in one basket was not going to stop my girl power, so I reluctantly switched to Erivan and started leveling him up. With my tactics and hero choice honed, conditions improved, and the hyenas was no longer an issue. That was until I got to wave 9, and I now had to fight 35 of them at once. Spells had to be mapped out in order to get past this encounter, and I also had to give up some of Erivan's XP gain to upgrade his ultimate, allowing me to finally get past this wave and beat stage 3. Do you like Star Wars? I hope you do, because I'm all about it. But it wouldn't be long before the game was going to attempt to ruin my PMA by introducing another high magic resistant enemy, the Gargamel of the Gnoll gang. And oh boy, did this little fella spell some trouble for me. The wave that combined them with the hyenas was especially a hassle and a half. But just as quickly as I got used to the thought of dealing with these guys setting up camp and staring my hero down, the two-headed sloths from the goddamn Goonies were barking up my tree. With their high HP regen, trying to kill them with a tower that splits its attack between 2 enemies was infuriating, to say the least. I wish that one developer who went, mage towers are kinda boring, instead of filling its role as burst damage, how about it instead split its attack in 2 and dealt no damage instead? Had car troubles that day and never attended the board meeting. After getting pounded in for a good 45 minutes, I had to compromise and break my own principle. But technically, this isn't against the rules. I beat the stage to obtain 2 stars and used them to beat the stage with 20 hearts. The stage was still completed, no lives lost, so I don't count this as a loss. We've already been over this. I need all the help I can get to get through this time around. I was not looking forward to my trip to the Royal Gardens, because I knew there was going to be a hyena bomb rush near the end, and an army of Ettins to finish the job if that would not be the end of it. But I had forgotten what this level bestowed upon me. A pre-built barrack on the level where I just so happened to unlock the Blade Slingers, and also Illyria. We can't forget about her. But with my massive lack of physical damage, she was actually putting in some work for her salary, which accidentally made this challenge into a huge ad for female empowerment. Finally, I achieved something I could look back on with pride. Alright, enough mumbo jumbo, let's talk shop. Plan for this level was pretty simple. Use Illyria and Erevan to group up the Blighters for a quick lightning bolt and they are goners. Then wait to upgrade to Blade Slingers until the level 3 barrack has been used to take care of all the hyenas. Then get Blade Slingers at the end to stall all the Ettins and wait for spells. I may have been a bit too emboldened this run, but I was not so far gone that I didn't realize Griffin Point was going to humble me. I already got off on the wrong foot because I forgot I unlocked Katha, or I just couldn't be bothered to level her up and just hoped it would slide, but of course it wouldn't.
Girls get it done.
This is yet another reason why I've grown tired of the new hero system. What happened to the good old plug and play? Now that's a system, bro slice. So with these circumstances at hand, I hope you will allow me to cheat just a little bit and bring Katha up to par with the level of my strongest hero. Like, look, this level is already going to take so goddamn long. Just cut me a little bit of slack here. And if you're voting no right now, then too bad I guess, because this is a pre-recorded video. This level and me was a match made in heaven. It gave me the beatdown I didn't know I had been yearning. It's good to be back. I miss this. With the stage not giving me an inch, I had a newfound understanding of the situation. And I now knew that I needed the level 5 lightning, and to do that, I had to backtrack and collect more stars for the course. But don't worry, I didn't beat the iron challenges that didn't allow mages, as this would be a violation of the treaty. And after these side quests, I now had Katha's sleeping pill grenade and lightning fully maxed out, and I was now confident that the gnolls were going to submit to me. But oh boy, never have I been so wrong. My exit was still being overflooded with so many enemies that half would be enough. I could not even survive the onslaught and gain a star or two to aid me, so with my upgrades all maxed out, there was only one way to make my odds more favorable. It's time to do a little off-cam grinding, if you know what I mean. But even with Katha in level 10, there was still one conundrum I had yet to solve. And that was getting through wave 13 without using lightning so I could use it early on the next wave. And after a little bit of experimenting, it turned out to be doable if I grouped up all of the harassers and used the Luftwaffe bomber to dispose of them all at once. I tried to use lightning on the first group of Blighters and Ettins, but then I would have to deal with the third group all the while wave 15 was upon me. I then tried to use it on the second, same result. And using it on the third would just speed up my demise as I watched helplessly without lightning. I simply didn't have enough firepower or stall. In my desperation, I even tried speccing into alter reality, but that did little to help. In fact, it only made it harder to use lightning optimally. You can't beat Kingdom Rush Origins with just a High Elven on Impossible, but the run can end so soon. So I decided to continue my crusade, but knocking the difficulty down. I am glad I finally came to my senses and switched to veteran, because even on this difficulty, this was still really tight to clutch up on the last 2 waves. Studying my footage in order to map out optimal spell usage was instrumental, and after 5 attempts I had the perfect setup. However, I accidentally waited a little longer than I planned to call the last wave, and I almost quit the level right then and there. But as it turned out, my calculations were slightly off, and I called the wave at prime time. With Katha's hero spell firing on all cylinders, I managed to hold out just long enough to get my lightning up at the opportune moment and cleared out the main bulk of wave 15, and then it was just a matter of holding it down and clearing out the rest of the stragglers. With the horde now taken out, it was just a one-on-one with the rabid dog, and with Katha locking him down, when she was not insisting on doing a healing animation of course, my level 3 mages made short work of his isolated dumbass. Beating Griffin Point didn't feel like the big relief it should have been, for I knew what awaited me in this next level. Spiders. And a whole lot of them. But the actual amount of them put my memory of the level to shame. Wave 14 was one giant gauntlet of spider spam. Getting through this wave made getting through that one scene in Desolation of Smaug seem easy in comparison. Quite frankly, this one wave felt like the final boss of this deplorable endeavor. And we are only on stage 7. This doesn't bode well for the rest of the challenge. But there's going to be plenty of time to whimper like a little girl later. Are you stuck on one particular wave of a level? Smash your fucking desk and yell at the monitor. Be a man. So after psyching myself up, I kept my head down and focused on playing the long game. This might look like an unwinnable battle, but you have to remember that every loss is just another drop in the knowledge bucket. Except that one. I don't think there's a valuable lesson to be learned here. Except, just fuck me, I guess. What? Dude. No. I'm fucking done. I'm done for the day. What the hell was that? It would not be long, however, before I found myself in a dead end and I had exhausted all of my hero options. And the game was now forcing me to do something I really didn't want to do. Speccing into alter reality. Theoretically, this should make the spiders easier to deal with, but also make it impossible to spawn kill hoplites. All the while the probability of my own towers throwing the game was hanging over my head. But even this didn't pan out. So now I was really on the brink of giving up. Even with the most optimal spell usage, the next wave pop was simply too far away to save me from the Australian nightmare. There had to be something I was overlooking, and it was in this moment while staring at the map an idea suddenly struck. I may not be able to use any towers in the remaining iron challenges, but I could still try them without any. And with my heroes leveled, I managed to beat all 3 and collect the stars. With this low power spike, I may be able to just beat the stage and get through and unlock Rexon. And maybe, just maybe, he will be able to get it done. As uncertain as I was about this plan, I was certain of one thing: I was not going down without a fight. And after a couple of painstaking tries, I got through. With 2 stars even. With Rexon now in my possession, I was going to beat Grimsburg to collect a few more stars for my campaign. It felt like a bending of the rules, but I didn't really mention this in there, so I pressed on and did it anyway. Surely now I was jacked and stacked. And if this didn't work, I was going to crawl back into retirement. But to my despair, Rexon was just not cutting it. And in a last ditch attempt to save the challenge, I put Prince Dennis on the case. But surprisingly, he actually performed the best out of all the heroes thus far. This had me feeling optimistic, so I gave it some more tries. But even with the Kingsguard holding the ground and also reality proccing away, it was simply not even close. Well boys, it appears I have failed you all. But there's nothing else I can think of to turn this ship around. You can't beat Kingdom Rush Origins with only High Elven. And I didn't even get to use the damn tower this challenge was supposed to be about. Ah well, these wouldn't be cutting edge scientific questions if I managed to beat them all. But I will however thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.